Hey guys, welcome back to the video. So today's video I have another special unboxing. This time it is to do with a bunch of birds, laying some eggs and collecting resources. That's right, today's video is about Wingspan. So quite recently I got a package in, but I thought I'd talk about Wingspan first in case you've never heard of it. So Wingspan's all about collecting birds. With these birds you can collect resources and you can also lay eggs. In this game it's all about points and it can play up to 4 players. The cool thing about it is you can cache particular cards underneath birds if they're predators, for example. You can collect resources on particular birds for hibernation. Each bird can have some eggs, some can't. Those work towards getting more birds and whatnot. And they have points on the cards and whatnot. So like I said, it's pretty much a point system game. I thought I'd show what I've got already before we unbox this bad boy right here. So of course, we've got to start with the base game. So here it is. This is the base game. You can kind of see the setup there. This is the one that came out first. This is the one you would want to have to obviously play the expansions. Expansions, you ask? Wow, let's have a look at the ones that have been released so far. We have Wingspan Oceania. Now, Wingspan Oceania is talking about oceanic birds, of course, because of its title. So that's Australia, that's New Zealand, anywhere to do with that kind of continent is this here. And of course, you've got some extra bits on the back. Now, the thing that this game brought in was these little nectars. And nectars help you to get points, and they also, you need some nectar to be able to, you know, lay birds, so to speak. So yeah, that was the expansion there. And then of course we have the European expansion. So this is all the European birds. For example, on the back it's showing us a common chef finch. There's some purple eggs with this one. So with the base game they didn't have purple, so they came with purple ones here. So you can kind of see that. And the other cool thing with this game, and you can kind of see the little square cards here, is they are end of round scoring. So it might be most birds in the wetlands, or most birds in the forest, or the most eggs laid on a particular bird, that kind of thing. So that's where the end of round scoring happens. So not only do you lay birds and do all of that kind of stuff to get really cool points, but there's end of round points as well. So that is Wingspan. Now you're probably thinking, Axel, you've got all you need. There's no extra Wingspan you need. Yes, there is. There's a very vital, important part of this Wingspan board game collection. We are about to unbox that. Exciting stuff. Now, due to the weather and whatnot, I've been waiting to unbox this for about a week and a half, coming up maybe 2 weeks. So, very exciting. Alright. Get all the side bits out just so it's easier to get out. So you can see that Stonemaier, the other ones that designed this game, that Stonemaier are very serious about their packaging, which is good. Because the last thing you want to do is spend a lot of money and get it damaged. And of course couriers can sometimes do that. Alright, you ready? Welcome to the Wingspan nesting box. So ideally, all of these Wingspan cards and everything from the base game, the expansions, there's another expansion in here, by the way, all are meant to fit into this one box, making it a little bit easier to do the job. Alright, now we will carefully take off this packaging. I absolutely love the artwork. So this is the artwork. Bit of a heavy box, and the cool thing that I see is this has a sticker. It says first printing. It's number 636 out of 10,000. You can see that at the bottom. Alright, let's take the lid off, see what we're dealing with. And here we have it. So this might be, yep, Wingspan Asia in the top. There you go. This is good because now I can show you some of the cards and whatnot. So this is your scoring pad. There's multiplayer. And yeah, there's a solo mode. I've never played a solo mode board game. Don't know why. And then of course the Asia expansion. So it's got all the extra bits of rules. It talks about the different birds, all that kind of stuff. This is the one that actually goes into detail a little bit more about the birds. I believe. I know this one here is talking about the rules, and then the appendix. So this is talking about the different birds. So for example, it's got the common tailor bird. Game end, find a contagious or continuous. I can't English. Find a contiguous group of birds in your preserve. They all have the same nest type. Lay one egg on each of them. And then it's got the star, which is the wild nest. So each bird has a nest, and it's got a different icon for that nest. If it has a star, that's a wild. So wild nest count as any nest type. So that's that. And then of course, we were talking about resources before. There's the so you got some fish there, you got some berries, you have some end of round points. I'm not too sure what the board is here. I've not seen that in a previous game. And then of course you got some more worms and some berries. And then you've got some other bits and pieces with some resources. This all looks like new additions purely to the Asia expansion. That's kind of end of round game. So you've got the most, least, that kind of thing. So that's how scoring happens. And this, I am assuming, because it's on the other side, is solo mode. It's got some rules. So it's got player A, player B. And even the boards look different. So you can kind of see here. So you've got the forest, you've got the wetlands, and then you've got the ocean birds. And then of course you've got your eggs. This here helps you collect resources. This here helps you get bird cards. And then of course you play a bird, you can gain food, you can lay eggs, you can draw bird cards. Of course all of that information's here. But you know. And then double-sided. You got your nectars that was introduced in that previous expansion, like I mentioned. So here's one of the bird cards. This one here is an Asian emerald dove. It's got 6 points, so the feather is 4 points. It's got its nest type, and you can lay 2 eggs on this bird. This bird can go into the wetlands or to the forest, and it's going to cost you a wheat plus a berry plus a berry. But it's going to give you a immediate action. When played, lay 2 eggs on each other bird in this column. Some cards give you benefits straight away. Other cards give you benefits when you know, sort of go back. So the way that it sort of is set up is, say you've got 4 cards on your wetlands. If you're on your wetlands and you're doing that action, which I believe is food? No, eggs. So if you're collecting eggs, you go to the end one that's available. The end spot that has eggs showing available. Then as you go back, you start doing the domino effect. So you move your pieces around kind of like that. As you're doing that, you're landing on the cards that you've played. So if those cards are being activated at that time, they'll be played. Otherwise, they'll be activated straight away when you play that card. hoping that I could potentially do a playthrough for you guys at some point so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Otherwise, there's lots and lots of videos out there of people playing Wingspan and whatnot. And then, of course, we have our personal end of round cards. So these here, at the normal game, you get given 2, and then you choose 1, and that's your end of game bonus. So, for example, food remaining in your supply at game end. Food being resources. 4 to 6 food, you get 4 points. 7 plus food, you get 7 points. So that's pretty cool. I can see that they've introduced some red eggs here. So the cool thing about Wingspan is there's a dice roller, so sometimes it'll allow you to grab food from the bird feeder. The bird feeder is literally a bird feeder. There's elements that allow you to put it together. You can actually see it there. There are dice that go into there, and they have all sorts of different cool resources and stuff. So that's how you collect resources. And there's about 5 of them. And they get re-rolled quite a few times during the game. Now the other thing that I've seen with the Wingspan Asia expansion is that they have a thing called duet tokens. Kind of like a yin and yang. I don't know exactly what these are for. I will find out very soon and let you know. But yeah, so they come with these cute little white, what look like teardrops. Same with as black ones. And then, as you saw before, when putting together, create that. So, just having a brief look, and I may be wrong, it seems like the duet tokens are for the solo game. So, having a look at the Asia Automa rules, it says, when you don't have the time, option, or desire to get a gaming group together, don't worry, we have you covered. The following rules allow you to play Wingspan against an artificial opponent called the Automa. And then if I'm looking through the Automa rules, it talks about the duet mode, duet. So I think that's for the solo mode, which is cool. We have a bunch of cards here, which will help being able to put into the box. Into the big monster box. As I briefly showed you before, we have another version of the bird feeder. And they've sort of set up a way of how to put everything away. So it's 3 layers, and that's sort of their ideal way that how you set that up. So quite simply, take off the top. Got 3 of these, which normally contain your dice and your resources and whatnot. And same with this. So these look like they'll contain your eggs, and these look like they'll contain your cards, because there are quite a lot of cards now. Quite a lot of cards. Then you can of course take this one out, and then you get to the bottom. So yeah, 3 tier. And now it's going to be my job of putting all of this, including my expansions, into the one box. And it's probably going to weigh quite a lot. So here we have it, guys. It is the Wingspan nesting box. It is completed. All 3 of my boxes and they're in here, and we're going to open it up and see how it looks. So here at the top we've got our scorecards, we've got all our reading manuals, you know, instructions and what cards mean. Underneath we have our player boards. Next tier down we have our birdhouse. We've got 3 of these which have our resources along with our eggs. And we've got our new ones as well. We've got 3 sets of dice, so I'll put one of these sets in here. We also have this one here. Got this all set up, so it's got the 2 plan marks in here, the new one and the original. It's got our meeples. And we've got our dice here, and round scorers. This one's empty, but this will have some cards in it when we play and choose what we want. this section here, we have all our different single player cards. Next to it we have end of game scoring. Then over on this side we have our Asia cards. We've got our Automa cards, which is single player. We've got our Oceania expansion. Got a Europe expansion. And got these other ones sitting here. And underneath that we have some casings. So these are good to put your resources in, so then you can dip in and whatnot. We've got our 2 trays that you can see. And the base game is in the purple. So that's all the base game cards, whereas the expansion cards are in this one here. And it's quite easy to assemble and deassemble. So just put the layers back on, along with the lid. There it is. Alright guys, so one other cool thing I'll leave you with. There's an app. If you download an app called Wingsong, if you've got Wingspan, you can grab any card. So I've got the Snowy Owl here from the European expansion. Got the app loaded up. And all you have to do is put the card in front. And you can hear what that sound the bird makes. So we just grab one more to give another quick demonstration. Let's go Europe since it's right here. We will look at the Eurasian magpie. Ready? So we'll do that again. It's pretty cool. So that app is called Wingsong, and it works with the Wingspan cards. But anyways guys, that's been the big box from Wingspan. Thank you to the guys at Stonemaier. Absolutely love it. I've got the base game, I've got the European expansion, I've got the Oceania expansion, all in this one box now. How cool is that? Alright guys, thanks for watching. See you on the next video.